Hey guys, Erin Cook here, romance and group travel expert with Custom Memories Travel, and today I'm going to spare you the hassle and the heartache that I see so many people having when either they're planning their own vacations or when they're coming to me for help and they have no clue where to begin. So I've seen a lot of things over the years in the travel business, and I've compiled my top 3 mistakes that I see people making when they're planning their vacations, okay? So I want to share those with you today and how to fix them. So number 1, this mistake is something that's getting a little bit more common. You know, people are going on vacation a lot, and we're listening to our friends talk about the destinations that we like and how much fun it was. That's great to get recommendations. However, you have to start planning in a certain order, okay? So when you are starting to do your research, what I'm finding, because I'm asking people how they're doing it, is they just start Googling resorts in the Caribbean or Mexico. And I'm talking about all-inclusive planning in this instance. Okay, but it can apply to any type of vacation that you're doing. So they just start Googling resorts in, Jamaica, resorts in St. Lucia, hoping to find something that piques their interest. Now that's okay. However, you are going to save yourself hours and hours and hours if you have a system in place to do that. And if you follow me on Erin Cook, my official page, you will know that I'm all about systems. It makes life easier. Okay, so what you want to do, I'm going to give you a story and then I'm going to share how to fix it. So I had a person call me the other day, my friend, who did not use me for a travel expert. They're planning it on their own. So they booked a vacation to Aruba. She calls me and she says, hey Erin, I'm sorry we didn't use you, but we're not going to an all-inclusive, and we booked a vacation to Aruba, and we want to find a good deal on ziplining through the jungle. Ziplining through the jungle doesn't exist in Aruba, okay? And she was so disappointed. She's like, well, so-and-so went to the Caribbean and they got to zipline. Yeah, because they were in another destination, okay? So what people are doing, the mistake they're making, is just Googling resorts or places to stay without researching the actual destination. And it's so common in the Caribbean because there's so many cool places to go, right? So my suggestion to you is not only start by Googling your activities that you want. So she should have started by saying, if she knew she wanted to do zip lining, she should have said islands with zip lining in the Caribbean or something like that. Places to go zip lining, best places to zip line, something along those lines, and make it relevant to the Caribbean. Instead, she Googled the resorts, found what she liked, and then, tried to go backwards. So go ahead and figure out the destination first. Every destination, especially in the Caribbean, is so different. The landscape is different. Aruba's totally flat and dry. It has some palm trees, but it's not a place where you're going to go ziplining through the jungle. And you can't snorkel off the shore in most places, which is another big difference in the Caribbean islands, okay? So do your destination research first, but along with that, plan out your wish list prior to doing your research. You're gonna save yourself so much time, okay? So that's the first mistake I see people making. But the second one is almost the biggest one, I think. And it's very frustrating for me as a travel expert to try to help people who make this mistake. So when I first started out, I did not require this. I require it now, and that is people need to have a budget, a solid budget that they will be willing to spend completely before going on vacation. And hear me out on this. This is why. So people used to come to me and they would say, when I would ask them, how much are you willing to spend or how much are you looking to spend? What's the answer? Because you know it too. It's probably your same answer. We all want as cheap as possible, right? But there's a difference between cheap and value. Okay, cheap is just something you say, if you see like a $99 all-inclusive on Groupon, run the other way, okay? Because you're just gonna get what you pay for. All-inclusive doesn't mean all-inclusive. If you followed my page for long enough, you will already know that. But, sorry, I have an itch on my nose. So I want you to figure out a budget and stick to it, because that way, once you have that wish list that we just talked about, you can see the places and destinations that match what you want, but also what you'll be getting for that set price, okay? Because you could Google your brains out for vacations that are cheap, and you could come up with 10 million of them, and I bet you they're all gonna suck. Well, maybe not all of them, but most of them. Because you're gonna either get put in a resort that has a bunch of spring break environments, no matter what the time of year it is, because it's so darn cheap, and that's where all the college kids and the partiers go. And you're going to have a rotten time if you are more of a person like me and just are interested in a true vacation and a getaway, not just one giant drunken party. Or you're going to go to a place where if you get an alcoholic beverage, you're either going to have to pay out of pocket for premium drinks, or you're going to get watered down drinks that are included. Okay, that happens everywhere. You're going to get the bootleg drinks like people do in Mexico. I'm not going to, let me back up. Not that they do that in Mexico. That's just one example of what had happened. Was a cheap resort. A couple of them actually bought bootleg liquor to save some money. Okay, that's what you're going to get when you get a cheap all-inclusive. That's the reality. That's why I don't take budgets less than $2,000 per adult for a 5 or 6 night stay. I just don't, because you're not going to get a solid vacation from it. You're not going to get a good value if you don't do that. So go ahead and set a budget that you're willing to spend. That way you can compare apples to apples. Okay, for $4,000 at this resort, this is what I can get. For $4,000 at this resort, this is what I can get. And you can compare and see which one gives you the better value or which one you like better, rather than just Googling cheap vacations and then getting there and adding on a whole bunch more costs, okay? So that's the second big thing that I see people making a mistake with, is not setting a budget to spend fully. And the last one, I bet you will guess it if you know me at all, is travel protection. So you remember in February of 2016, when we had that 40 degree below weather during winter break. It was one of the worst weeks of my life. Not because of my clients, but because everybody that was traveling pretty much had something to do with the airlines, whether it was a cancellation or a delay or whatever, which is fine. We got through it. And I'm grateful that we recommend travel protection, because I see so many people saying, you know, I don't need that because if my flight is canceled or delayed, the airlines have to put us up in the hotel. Where did you hear that, people? No, they do not. If you have a weather delay or weather cancellation for your flight, they don't have to do squat. They'll get you on another flight, maybe the next day, hopefully, or maybe within a couple days, but that's it. They don't have to give you a hotel. They don't have to give you vouchers for food. They don't have to give you anything, transfers, nothing. That's on you. And most people make that mistake. They think that for some reason it's the airline's fault that the flight is canceled. Now, if it's a mechanical delay, they often will help you along, but not all the time. Okay, so really consider getting travel protection. For me, if my clients wish not to have that, they need to sign a waiver and release me from any responsibility of having to take care of whatever it is they miss out on, because that's not something that I should be responsible for. I can't help get your money back when you didn't take the initiative to, you know, purchase the travel protection. I can't help cover you for things that aren't covered. Okay, so the other thing that goes along with that is people often forget that your medical insurance, even yes, some will cover you out of country. Okay, you can call them up. I've had many people do that. Call them up and say, no, my insurance company said they'll cover me. Well, when you walk up to and you go to St. Lucia to the hospital because you cut your foot open, you know, on a rock while you were snorkeling or whatever, and you need 2 or 3 stitches and it's going to cost $2,000 or $3,000. Do you think when you walk in with your insurance card that they're going to take that insurance? No. I mean, why would they? Well, you're going to have to be responsible for paying cash up front. And then you're going to take those receipts, turn them into your medical insurance when you get home, and hope that you get reimbursed. Okay, so that's how it works. Yes, you may be covered, but you're going to have to apply to get that reimbursement. And heaven forbid, one of our travel experts bumped his hip or his knee, I can't remember which, hip or his knee, on a coffee table, probably his knee, before he went on vacation to Cancun. He got there and it was infected inside, and he had to stay there for 2 months in Cancun in the hospital. Okay, can you imagine what his bill would have been had he not purchased travel protection? Okay, things happen. If you have a child with allergies and they have hives and you need Benadryl, in some countries you have to be seen by a doctor before they will let you purchase Benadryl out of their store. Okay, that's true in the Dominican. $200 it costs to go to the resort that we stay at in Nickelodeon, just to see the doctor on site if you get a bee sting or something like that and you need Benadryl. Okay, so you can choose to forego the travel protection, which would be less than that, you know, should you purchase it in most cases. or you can just pay cash up front, which really sucks. So those are the 3 things I would ask you to really consider doing before planning your vacation to save you not only a lot of time, but a lot of money, and to get the best value for your budget. So if you're ready to plan your all-inclusive vacation to the Caribbean or Mexico, please give me an email at Erin at custommemoriestravel.com. Go to my website. You can find my contact page there, as well as the way that we plan vacations, so you can see it all laid out for you. And I would be happy to work with you. Now for 2018, I'm only taking 20 trips. I'm one person with 3 businesses right now, and that's the time that I'm willing to spend helping 20 different people. Now, I've already have some of those slots filled. I can't remember how many, but if you're looking to go anywhere in 2018, contact me now. That would be a great time. So everybody have a wonderful day. God bless, and we'll see you next time.